going? I've been playing a lot of the Battlefield games since the first Battlefield Bad Company. Every game since then I've been playing, so I haven't played all of them. The only exception is Battlefield Hardline, which was the newest to date Battlefield game. I did play Star Wars Battlefront, if you would like to count that as a Battlefield game, since it does have it is made by DICE and EA, so it has that Battlefield feel to some people, and a lot of people are comparing it to this Battlefield game. Anyway, so I'm going to be giving my opinions on the good, the bad, and the ugly parts of this beta. Primarily on the Sinai Desert, since I'm playing on the PS4. I do not have the other map that is featured or has been featured and is on the PC. From what I know, it is on the PC. It was in the E3 pre-alpha. It was just the pre-alpha map that some people were able to get into. Anyways, the good. The game is graphically phenomenal. The animations of the guns, reloading and shooting them, are amazing. The hopping into vehicles animations is great. The vehicle design is very well, at least the tanks, since those are the only ones that I know that were made. I know everything in this game was created, so it's not like all these vehicles are made from fiction or all the guns are made from fiction. I'm just saying that is what I compare it to, is the tanks that I actually know were real, such as the Mark V British tank, and then the German, not exactly sure what it was called, but the big box tank. Anyway, those vehicles are great. The sounds are phenomenal. I love hearing the planes flying over, the dropping of the bombs. They're doing a great job. I think DICE is doing amazing with their graphic design and their sound design, especially after Star Wars, because Star Wars sounded great and looked great, and they're doing a great job with that. There's several other things that I enjoyed about the game. Being able to play with friends is always good. I was worried that there might be a buddy system maybe implemented just like they did in Star Wars, and I didn't really like that because you can't really get with a bunch of groups of friends. You can only play with one. But anyway, they went with the squads, and the squads worked out fairly well. Getting into matches is kind of strange, since sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But that's just because of the beta servers and whatnot, and I'm not going to talk about the servers since they were down, and then the Sony servers were down because of a group of people. Anyway, so those were the goods. Now, I do have a list of the bads, and that's because this is primarily a critique for the bugs and glitches that should be fixed in the game. And to start off, one of the big ones is the buttons. So, several times I'll be prompted to press L1 or R1, like maybe I'm playing the medic and it says press R1 to heal, and it shows it. And I think that's really strange, especially since when you press R1, that's not the button that you're supposed to use. You're supposed to press left on the directional or the D-pad. You're supposed to press left or right or up and up. For those, like, it'll be like press L1, but that's actually grenade, so then you end up killing yourself with like an incendiary grenade because you think, oh, maybe that's what it's supposed to do, but no, that doesn't happen. So they should fix that. Another problem with the buttons is sometimes I've only noticed this with the bomber, and I know you're supposed to press a certain button, like I think it's left to repair, and then you're supposed to hold down L1 to repair, but in the bomber it doesn't work. I'm not sure if I'm the only one experiencing this. I might be doing it wrong, but all the other vehicles I've been able to do it. In the tanks it works. In the not the assault plane, but the one that can drop bombs, that's not the bomber, that one, it works to repair. So I don't know why it's just in the bomber I cannot repair the vehicle. Also, another button problem, it might just be my own personal problem not being able to do it, but the bayoneting charge. So I was playing with Kev, and every time he tried doing a bayonet charge, it wouldn't work, and he was end up killed. And I'm able to use a club and kill someone, so finally I would primarily play support and he would play medic, but we decided to switch, and he started playing support and I played the medic, and I tried using the bayonet charge, and I wasn't able to do it successfully because I would run right past the person or I'd be running at them and it just wouldn't work. And it wasn't like I was too far away because I know there's a distance on it. It just wouldn't work. So I'd have to beat them with my club and hopefully get that finishing move on them. So that's a few of the buttons that are a problem. Another problem is the character models, and in the video you might see it. Sometimes when primarily when I spawn behind a squad mate like Kev, I can see his bags and some of the pouches on his waist and whatnot. They'll fly off of his body really far away, and then they'll bungee jump around until they finally fixate themselves onto his character. And he noticed it too when I brought it up to him. And sometimes I would be behind him and I would look away to start shooting at someone. When I would look at Kev to give him ammo or whatever, I would notice it. So it's not like it's just something that happens when when you spawn in. It happens just randomly in the game, and that's something that should be fixed, because I know one of the character models in Star Wars Battlefront, and yes, I know this is not Battlefield related, but in Star Wars Battlefront, if you look at the character models when you're choosing what your character looks like, some of the pouches and stuff just levitate off of the character. I'm not sure if any of you noticed that, but that is true. You can check it out for yourself. Anyway, so there's the character model. And so the character models, there's like a clipping issue. So sometimes when I go to revive someone, especially when I die since I'm support all the time, Kev will turn around to revive me, and sometimes he's successful, and sometimes I'll be watching my dead body lay there and he'll be looking around and can't see me because my body to him has fallen through the map. I'm not sure if they did this so you can't just be revived several times and it puts a limit on it, but that is an issue. Another issue with spawning is sometimes when you or not sometimes, but when you spawn in, you can hold down the X button and it makes the timer go faster so you don't have to wait. I feel like if you're going to hold down the button to respawn, when you do that and you go to the spawn screen, when you're looking, you have to wait on another timer to finish for you to be able to respawn. I feel like if that's going to happen, you should not have to wait to respawn. You should just go to a menu where you're dead, looking at your stuff, and if you get revived, you get revived. A game that does this, and it does it, and it works, is PlanetSide 2. So anyway, I feel like that's an issue. Another issue with spawning, and it's not really a bug, but sometimes when I'm going over the map to figure out where I'm going to spawn, I'll be hovering over, and I like the idea that it's a cursor to hover over things, but when sometimes I'll be hovering over my squad mate and then a vehicle will drive by or a plane will fly over, and then I'll jump in their vehicle on accident because that's where the cursor goes to, instead of just having using the D-pad to switch between squad mates. I think would fix that. And the problem is sometimes you'll jump into a plane with someone and they'll jump out of the vehicle and you'll be dive bombing down, and when you switch, going back to the switching animation in a vehicle, since instead of it's not just a snap, you actually have to walk, it creates time, and then you can't get to the driver's seat in time and you die. So there's an issue there with the spawning. I feel like it can be fixed. It's not really a bug, but I doubt it'll be fixed. It'll probably stay that way, but it's just kind of aggravating because that's happened several times, especially when you jump in a tank that's about to blow up and you have to be really quick on your feet to jump out of it and not die, because it's not really a spawn kill by a person, but you do spawn and then you die within a second, and that's aggravating. Talking about falling through the maps and the spawning, we're going to go to how the maps in the game are, but that is going to cover it's going to end for the most part the bad parts of the beta with the bugs and the glitches. So let's go to the maps. So to start off, to show I have no bias, I'm going to go to Battlefield 1943, Guadalajara Canal, and I recall this map, and if you take a look, here's the map, and I've shown the boundaries of the map. This is everywhere where you can play. You can like just swim out wherever you want. There's really no boundaries in this map. They're really big on these 1943 maps because they were designed to be really big, and I know the maps weren't entirely huge, and they're all on these islands, and I know that can't compare to what Battlefield 1 maps are since the scalings are a lot bigger, but I want to show where you can play, and this is where everyone plays. In the green, I marked off where well, I didn't mark off, but the areas on the island, that's usually the bases, so the other team can't really get into those areas. The yellow are where the snipers go, and if you see, a few of them are in the the area where most people play, and so you can see it's a fairly portion of the map. And then I'm going to go to one of the Battlefield Bad Company maps, Harvest Day, and here it is. It also was in Bad Company 2 as a featured DLC, I think. I'm not sure if it was free or paid. But anyway, here's the map Harvest Day, and I pulled this off the internet, so it's like an entire area, so they just kind of like screenshotted the entire map that was created. But here's the playable area. It's as you can see, it's a portion of this map. I can assure you it's large, but again, this was made before the maps were giant and scaled. And I'm going to zoom in here and show you the playable area again where everyone goes and plays. And I mark in the yellow the sniper locations where people normally would snipe, and it was up on a hill or in the trees to counter snipe. The red dashed line that you can see on the right side, that was available in Conquest, so I kind of wasn't sure exactly what to do, and it was on Conquest on the Bad Company 2 game. In the featured Bad Company, there you couldn't go over there, but I went ahead and threw that in there just to get an idea. So anyway, as you can see, it's most of this map is used and played on for the boundary lines. So now I'm going to go to this, and this was available in the pre-alpha. I also pulled this online. You can see the boundaries themselves of the map that people played, but I went ahead and I outlined them in red again. As you can see, it's just this playable area. And looking at all the footage from the E3 when they first debuted the gameplay, where they had all the streamers, YouTubers, and celebrities play, I came up with an area where people normally played, which was right here. And you might be thinking, yeah, that looks like a nice, decent portion of the map, but if you compare it to the other Battlefield games, it just doesn't compare. Because, and I understand on the Guadalcanal I circled pretty much the entire picture. That's because there was really no boundaries in the water. No one would really get in the water. But anyway, here it is. I'm not exactly sure the name of this map. I don't recall what it is. But anyway, so here's the green area where people played, and it kind of loops out to F because this was before I came up with the idea to throw in the sniper locations. But anyway, this is where people normally played, and as you can see, it's kind of in where the buildings are at. So you can kind of see people want to be in the buildings, and they didn't really pay attention to C and A very much in the gameplay. So anyway, I threw this in here because this is only available on the beta for the PC, I believe. They get this map and the Sinai Desert, or Sinai Desert, but I wanted to go ahead and throw this in here because it is Battlefield 1. So we're going to go to the Sinai Desert, and here's a nice picture of it, a lot more clean, not fuzzy. Anyway, I'm going to show the boundaries again. Same old, same old. You can see where people can play the map and all the bases, and as you can see, E is kind of out in the open of this desert. So I'm going to show you where people play, and this is, I've experienced this from playing the beta, so I can firsthand tell you exactly my experience. So here it is. The yellows are the snipers. No one really goes to A unless they're a sniper. And as you can see, it's just the northern part of the map, and that's where the town is, the city. And that's kind of a bad thing because no one really, and as you can see, if you look at this picture, there's only this lone Jeep right here. This lone Jeep is going out to capture E, probably just to get that sniper rifle, so they become that armor penetrating sniper rifle class, whatever. But look, no one, look, as you can see here, these people don't care about going to E. They're going straight to they're probably going to bypass A. They're probably going to go straight to B where they're at. Look, they're already taken B, so they can get into the city because they know everyone's going to be playing in the city. And that's kind of a problem because if you compare it to the other Battlefield maps, no one's really playing the full potential of this map, and I understand it's the player base that determines on how the game's played, but it's also the construction from the developers. There's no cover out here, so really shooting and everything, this is all just flat. It's kind of hilly, I understand, but it's just all flat. I think there's a rock right here in this road where this guy's at. He's probably behind the rock, and he's probably trying to shoot a sniper that's up here from where he's facing. Anyway, I feel like that's kind of a problem. I feel like this map is too big, especially since the boundary line goes all the way down here. This map is too big. And like I said, I played several of the Battlefield games, and I felt like all the maps were beautifully made, but these are just kind of ridiculous. I feel like they could have done more, and this is already in the game, so it's not like they can really change it. I hope in the main game we get to see more city-based gameplay where people actually play the whole map, because in my opinion, after seeing this, if I was, and I know this won't happen, but just fantasize with me. So you have the train tracks right here. I guess it goes like this. I can't really see with all my drawing on here. Anyway, but the train can only go to like G, D, and A, but since no one goes to A, no one's gonna care. So really, they may go to G, but no one really cares about G. They'll mainly just go here to D. So if I was going to make a map after seeing this for future DLC maps, I would extend the city to go past this area here, make this all dense buildings. And I understand for the time period there wasn't dense cities, but if you think about it, G has some ruins, so they could have thrown some, and they just stop here. It's like that's it. That was like a ruined city, and now they're over here. So what they could have done is thrown some ruins that went all the way up, connected, had the city start coming this way. And it's weird that this is just out here, this own little oasis. So they could have definitely stretched some buildings down here to get some people to actually play at E and get some stuff here. And this is like an open area, and then there's some buildings here at B. There's not really buildings here, it's just kind of like some tarps, like a makeshift military sniping post, because snipers are here. What I would have done is made the buildings here as well, because there's really no point in just having buildings at B when you could have connected it. And I know you don't want the whole map to be the same. I know you want to have variety, but this just isn't cutting it. Going into the ugly parts of the beta, things that are constant, is in all this footage that you're seeing. This is from two of the matches that I've played with Kev. We've been playing since the Insiders, so we've been playing like every day for several hours. The train, since the train is in the game, we hardly ever see the train, and that's kind of a big deal because it's supposed to be a big part of the game, and it's just, I've probably seen it 5 times. It hardly ever comes in, and one of those times, the match was getting near the end. Both teams were over 200 count to the tickets, and there was like 30 seconds on the clock, and then it said the behemoth arrived, or the train, or whatever it says, and that's a problem because you can't do anything then. That was too late. The train should come in at a certain point. It should be on a timer of, like, since the matches are 15 minutes or 20 minutes long or something, it should really come in before then, because that is just a big problem, because you don't really get to see it. So they should fix when the train actually comes into the game. Another one is the weather system. The weather problem is just, it's terrible. I'm not saying it's bad, because it's one of those beautiful things to see, the sandstorm come in, or the wind, or the fog. It's great. The rain in the pre-alpha looked amazing, and the fog in the pre-alpha looked amazing, but that also hardly ever happens. I've probably been in the sandstorm 3 times. I've seen the fog twice. I've never experienced any of them on rush mode. That's a shame because I was kind of hoping that they'd be in there. I feel like it would it definitely turns the tide when it does happen, but the train and the weather not coming in frequently is a problem. Another problem is the private chat talking. So in the PS4 you get into a party chat and then you can join the game, and that's kind of how you squad up, is you squad up by getting into a party. Same thing kind of how Star Wars Battlefront was. Well, I was in a private chat and it was set to private, or a party chat set to private with my friends, and we were playing, and I started hearing some weird noise. It sounded like someone tapping on a dinner plate, and I asked them, hey, what is that? And I started hearing someone talking, and I thought maybe someone walked into one of their rooms, started talking to them. I wasn't sure. Well, then the guy said, I can leave. Turns out the guy in our squad could hear us. And I'm not one for like trying to be socially awkward or anything, but it came as a startle because I didn't know he could hear us. I thought it was just us. So it's strange that the Battlefield goes off of that, and our party chat wasn't set to game audio. It was set to, the party settings, so we should only be able to hear each other. I feel like they should fix that, because if I don't want to talk to someone, I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to set the squad to private just so I don't have to talk to other people, because personally I don't like that. I'm sure several other people do. I'm a team player, but some people can kind of get aggravating with what they say. Another problem, and this kind of goes back to the buttons, is the when you press opt, and I'm not sure how this goes, I'm not entirely how all this works, but when you press options, which would be the start for the Xbox, it really lags out and it takes a while to load it, and then when it does, it's kind of like you're frozen and you sit there for several seconds and you have to wait for it to load, and then if you press up and down, it'll really fuck it up, and then you have to hurry up, and that just goes into this trying to change the team settings to the squad settings to make it private squad, and they really need to fix the way those buttons work, because I don't know why it takes so long for that stuff to lag out like that. There is this one thing, and it's this really loud noise. I'm not sure what it was. It could have been a gunshot, but it was frequent. The frequency was always the same. It was this loud pop, kind of like a sniper shot, but there's no weapon around. I thought it was the sniper rifle that for the armor-piercing sniper class sort of thing, but it's not, because when I used it, it did not sound the same. When I saw other people using it, it did not sound the same. So this loud pop, I'll play it for you. It's really fucking loud, and it hurts with the headset on because it's louder than any of the other audio, and it happens randomly, so it's not like you can just prepare yourself for it. So that's one of the bugs that needs to be fixed. Oh my god, I'm shutting this fucking door. Something's going on out there that's like fucking bad. Oh, what the fuck was that shit? My ears! Fuck, that fucking popping, man. As you can see, that was really annoying and really loud. It's happened more than I've seen the train, it's happened more than I've seen the weather, and that's a problem. Not sure what's causing it, but it's just another bug or glitch in the game that needs to be fixed. So I've heard talked, and I'm not sure, don't quote me on any of this, but it's just talk I've been hearing, that EA or DICE, whoever you want to go to, is going to come out with new free DLC every once in a while for the game, as well as the paid DLC, much like they did with Star Wars, and that's a good thing, because people say Star Wars was an unfinished game when it released, and if I'm looking at it now, I can agree, because now they have Jabba the Hutt contracts that was a free update. There was the bots, which I did a video with Kev, and that was a free update. There's a few alternate maps that was a free update, as well as the paid DLC, and I really like that, because when games put out free DLC, it makes them live longer, it makes people want to play it more, instead of having the bland DLC, the bland game, and then having to have to pay for the DLC, like Destiny. One of the games that did this successfully would be Grand Theft Auto Online, how they have free updates all the time, and they're making bank off of their shark cards, but those are not two different games, but those are different games and not Battlefield. Hope you guys had a nice time watching it. Like that like button, subscribe to the subscribe button. I'll be back with the next video and maybe some actual footage of this, and so just stay tuned.